Welcome back to Massetti's Math Movies, where it's a cute to be a square. Today's lesson is 10.3, 30, 60, 90 triangles. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to find the lengths of sides in 30, 60, 90 triangles. Find the page that you have that says Solving Side Lengths in 30, 60, 90 triangles. On the other side, last lesson we did the 45, 45, 90. Today, we're doing the 30, 60, 90. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do it. My least favorite way is memorizing. I don't like to memorize things. But if you want to, you can memorize that the hypotenuse is double the shorter leg, that the longer leg is root 3 times the shorter leg. So that's one way that you can do these problems, and I'll show you that in a moment. My favorite way is to write the proportion, like before, and I'll show you all the different methods. So you have your 30, 60, 90 triangle. So we've got a pattern here. I have it written down here as well. You can write a proportion to solve for t and for s. So if we say t is to 14, t is to 14 as 1 is to 2. So we cross multiply 14 times 1 divided by 2. 14 times 1 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now let's solve for s. We can do s is to 14. S is to 14 as root 3 is to 2. S is to 14 as root 3 is to 2. So 14 times root 3 is 14 root 3. And then we have to divide by 2. Notice both of these are outside the square root. So 14 divided by 2 is 7 root 3. So that's how you use this triangle. It's just like the other one. That's one way. That's my favorite way. Or you can write an equation, memorize these equations. Hypotenuse, which in this case is 14, equals 2 times the shorter leg. The shorter leg is always across from the 30-degree angle, divided by 2, 7 equals s. The longer leg, which is t, is equal to root 3 times the shorter leg. The shorter leg we said was 7. So t equals 7 root 3. Notice we get the same answer, but it's just a different process. Or you can, some of you will be able to be good at the pattern. The pattern is x, double of x, and x root 3. Or if you're thinking about this triangle, it's 1, 2, and 1 root 3. So whatever's here goes here with a root 3. So if you look at, we've got 14. 14 is in the 2 spot. If 14 is in the 2 spot, that means 7's in the 1 spot, because these are double of each other. These have to be double of each other. And then notice you take whatever's here and you put it with a root 3. 7 root 3. So that's using the pattern. Let's do some more examples now. So we already have our 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is 30, this is 60. Across from the 30 is the 1, because across from 30 is going to be the smallest. 2 is across from the hypotenuse. 2 is actually the biggest. Root 3 is a little bit smaller than 2. So now here it says find the value of b. Well, this kind of shows you how we come up with this. We're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. 1 squared plus b squared equals 2 squared. 1 plus b squared equals 4. Subtract 1 from both sides. And what do you know? b equals the square root of 3. Notice that this is the triangle that we already knew. We already knew b was supposed to be the square root of 3. Compare it to this triangle. 1, root 3, and 2. We already knew that was the case. Here's if you want to memorize the formulas. The hypotenuse is twice as long as the shorter leg, and the longer leg is root 3 times the shorter leg. So here we have find the length of the hypotenuse. So that's right here. So you can memorize the formulas, or maybe you know the pattern, but if you don't, we can write a proportion. So take your triangle and turn it so that it looks the same. Now we can write a proportion between these two. X is to 12 as x is to 12 as 2 is to 1. Cross multiply, x equals 24. Oops, there you go. X is to 12 as 2 is to 1. That's how we came up with 24. Here it says, find the length of the longer leg. Well, there's the short leg across from the 30, so here's the longer leg right here. So get out our triangle, take it and turn it so that it looks the same. There we go. X is to 5 as root 3 is to 1. Cross multiply 5 times root 3. We're just going to leave that as 5 root 3. The longer leg is opposite the 60-degree angle, and the shorter leg is opposite the 30-degree angle. All right, go ahead and do this now. These are like example 1 and 2. Leave your answer in radical form, no decimals. Leave all answers in square root form if necessary. So here we go. Here's another example. We're trying to find the x, the shorter leg. So turn our triangle so that it matches up. X is to 5 as 1 is to root 3. So here we got 5 times 1 divided by root 3. So now we have 5 divided by root 3, not multiplied by. So this is a little bit different. You can leave it like this, or you can give a decimal approximation. Sometimes we don't like to have square roots in the bottom. But I think it's fine. You can just leave your answer just like this. If you want to, you can put it in your calculator. Approximately 2.9. But because the direction said round to the nearest tenth. But I think it's fine to leave it like this. This example says, what is the length of the hypotenuse? So let's call that hypotenuse y. See if we can find that. So I'm going to do y is to 5 as, y is to 5, let's get out our triangle again. Y is to 5 as 2 is to root 3. So cross multiply, y equals 5 times 2 is 10 divided by root 3. Notice that's double what we got before. That makes sense because the shorter leg, or the hypotenuse, is supposed to be double the shorter leg. You can leave this as a decimal. This is approximately 5.7. But I say we can just leave it like this. All right, here we go. Another example. Turn your triangle, the 30, 60, 90 triangle, turn your triangle so that it looks the same. It's okay that it's upside down. We're still going to write our same proportions. So x is to 8 as 1 is to 2. 8 times 1 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now let's do y. Y is to 8 as root 3 is to 2. So cross multiply. 8 times root 3 is 8 root 3 divided by 2. These are both outside the square root, so we can simplify that. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this is 4 root 3. All right, I say we should leave our answers in square root form. Get rid of that. Leave answers in square root form where necessary. Obviously, whole numbers, you don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and do those now. Use your triangle. This is M Cubed signing out.